right, today we got the man, Ryan from Bakcou here. We're gonna run through these awesome bikes. Give us a full overview.
Yep.
What else you got for us? Overview, some of the kind of talk about some of the regulations a little bit around
e-bikes. Background of the company a little bit.
So yeah, I'm just excited to have you here, and we're
Awesome.
just gonna roll into whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, thanks for having us. A little bit of background with Bakcou. Our owners, Dave and Brian, started the company about 5-6 years ago. Started out as backcountry e-bikes. They wanted to find a way to get a little bit further, deeper, quicker, less scent, less sweat. And so this was born. And fast forward to now, we had an opportunity to rebrand the company, and now we're known as Bakcou. And so we are primarily a hunting e-bike company based out of northern Utah. We've got dealers across the whole nation, including GOHUNT now. We're really excited for this partnership. And that's really kind of a little bit of a story of how we got started and why we got started.
I like that it's a hunting e-bike company.
Hunting e-bike. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
That's the selling point. So you know everything's going to be stout. It's going to handle anything that we throw them through.
Yeah, that's really what we're going to go over today. Is we have two models here. We have our Storm and we have our Mule. These mules behind us, there's two different frame sizes. But yeah, starting with the Storm.
Yeah,
we'll go through that. So these bikes we have in front of us, we have the biggest battery on here. These are 25 amp hour batteries. We do have smaller batteries, 17.5, 19.2, 21, and a 25. Really what that means,
what does that mean to a hunter?
More distance.
Okay.
Right? The bigger the battery, the farther you can go. Lithium ion batteries, but really the big component of this bike that really stands apart from everybody else is the motor. It's a mid-drive motor, torque sensing motor. This is an M620 Bafang motor. It's got steel gears. So what that means, e-bikes in general are nylon gears. Yep. So more torque, more power, better longevity. Anything with steel can go a lot longer. Full suspension on this bike with the rock shocks in the middle, and then we built this around the hunting element with the rack, the fenders, and the ability to put saddlebags, pull trailers, pull out your game, pack in your cam.
Are saddlebags really popular?
Oh, big time. I mean, I had a hunt about 3 years ago up in Utah and was able to debone my mule deer and throw a lot of the meat in the saddlebags. Bow on the back still, and packed out a whole mule deer just by myself, which was really nice.
I have one question again, back to the battery.
Yeah.
It probably depends on terrain, all sorts of different elevations, what you're doing, but like what do I expect out of a battery life if I'm out hunting for?
Distance, right?
Yeah,
How
distance
far
or
can
whatever
you go?
it is.
A lot of variations. So you've got to understand the terrain that you're going into. Is it steep country here in the west? Are you out in the flatland back east, the Midwest? These can climb anywhere you can keep traction on. That's not a problem. As far as the distance, there's variances with the weight of the rider, the weight that you're packing, the weather, cold weather, warm weather, everything in between. But for me, just as an example, I was up in northern Utah, about 9,000 feet. I had our small battery on, about 17 miles. I went, and the battery was a 17.5 amp hour battery. When I came back from that 17-mile loop, I still had about 50% left.
Dang.
But I was using level assist 1 through 3, and we'll go through that here in a minute. But if you're going level 5 assist, throttle, if you're able in areas that you can use a throttle, yeah, that'll come down. But really, you're going to be able to go as far as you want to go.
And then once, let's say I'm going stupid far, like a lot of trips, battery does go out.
Yeah.
It's still a bike.
Ride it like a bike.
Yeah. So they still keep going.
Yeah, some people will pack a battery on the back rack if you want to take an extra battery. We sell solar panels as well, so you can use a solar panel. Yeah. So again, you can go as far as you want to go, but yeah, if you ever run out for any reason at all, you can ride it like a bike. It is heavy, so be prepared.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the Storm. So again, the Storm model, we built this just to give people a little bit softer ride. As far as wanting to pack heavier gear, that's where we're going to get into the Mule. Some more components with this bike is we put on quad piston braking. So the front and the rear, the biggest discs on the market for this. It's a 9-speed cassette system with the derailleur system there. We have different models. We have other models on that you get that GOHUNT's going to be able to offer that has a roll-off hub. It's a 14-gear system. As far as the specs on the shocks, you got the front shocks, the full suspension shock. The tires is a 26 by 4-inch Maxxis Minion tire. And so you've got a lot of beefy tires. You want that for stability in case you're going through ruts. And then the speed and assist. So how do you do the pedal assist? These bikes have 5 levels of assist in eco mode and 5 levels of assist in sport mode. What that means, level 1 through 5. Level 1 is minimal assist. You don't want to go very fast. You just want a little bit of assistance. If you want more assistance, you're trying to climb a hill, you can bump that up to 5. It won't run away with you because it's a torque sensing motor. It's going to output and give you assistance based on the amount of pressure that you put on the pedal. So that's a big factor of this mid-drive motor.
What do you think the main benefit is of having a full suspension system like this compared to the other ones?
Yeah,
Like what's that going to gain you?
Yeah, the full suspension's nice for the people that kind of have a bad back or they just want that smoother ride for their backside. So really, the full suspension's solely for comfort.
Gotcha.
To be able to take those bumps and those rocks and that terrain a little bit better than what a hardtail would take.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, that's our Storm.
This bike looks awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I packed out, I had the opportunity, I probably put over 2,500 miles on these bikes, packed out a few mule deer and a couple elk, and had a chance last year to shoot an elk 75 yards from the bike and packed it all out with my brother, so a lot of fun.
Sign me up for some of that.
I
love doing some other crazy stuff, which you can get something towards a bike like this and pack it out with it. That's gotta be so amazing. And all the bikes are all compatible with the trailer and all that stuff you got too?
Yeah, so back here we've got our single wheel trailer. We have a dual wheel trailer as well. I love them both for different reasons. They can all pack your gear. You'll get more weight capacity in the dual wheel for sure. So just know where you're going. If you're taking a logging road, I'd suggest the dual wheel. If you're going single track, take this one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is our mule. We have 3 different sizes in our mule. This one's our step through 26, so you can see the top tube comes down.
Okay.
This one only fits a 21 amp hour battery just because of that tube, but that 21 amp hour battery is still one of the biggest in the market. So this one back here is our regular mule. The top tube is a little bit higher. We have the mules also in a smaller tire, a 24 inch. So anybody 5'4", even though I look like I'm 5'2" standing next to this guy, 5'4" or smaller, we've got a 24 inch tire as well. So
that could be something to pay attention to as well, like your body size compared to what bike you need.
Yeah, because you're going to be packing a lot of gear, and that's what we need to talk about too, is the weight capacity. You can haul with the rider and the pack and everything up 350 pounds.
Gosh.
That you can pack, especially with this hardtail, because you're not going to be bottoming out your full suspension.
God, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah. On the Storm as well, just so you guys know, you can lock it out. So you can lock out the full suspension and turn it into a hardtail if you want to. But yeah, this is our mule. Same motor as the Storm, the mid-drive motor with steel gears. It's got the 26 by 4 inch Maxxis Minion tires, 9-speed rear cassette, quad piston braking, and all the same levels of assist, level 1 through 5 on Eco, 1 through 5 on Sport, and then the throttle option as well. So yeah, if you're wanting to really climb hills and people like that hardtail ride, because you can get better traction on a hardtail, this is the bike you want to go with.
So what do you think the main difference between this bike and this other one we just looked at?
Right. Different use cases as far as the type of ride you want. If you want a smoother ride, you're going to go the Storm. Both bikes can climb mountains because they have the same mid-drive motor.
Okay.
We do have a bike that GOHUNT's going to be offering as well, which is called the Flatlander. That one has a rear hub motor versus the mid-drive. And so that bike, the Flatlander bike, that one's made for the eastern states and the Midwest. Rolling hills, flatland. Both of these are built for the West.
To the West.
Now, more weight capacity you can carry on the mule by about another 50 to 75 pounds because of the hardtail element versus that full suspension. Because if you bottom that out, right, that's where you can have some issues there.
That makes sense.
Yep. But all of these bikes are compatible with carrying the trailer. So single wheel trailer, dual wheel.
Same thing with the saddlebags and everything too?
Saddlebags are all compatible as well. Yep. You can swap batteries. So if you get a couple bikes, you can take this battery. If you're going out in the backcountry and you want to go really, really far, you can take this battery off and that can go into this bike as well as a backup.
So that could be good if you're hunting with buddies and just want to swap something over.
For sure. Yeah, take their battery if they have more.
Hey, there
more
you go.
Juice. So.
All right, so obviously when it comes to e-bikes, there's different rules and regulations. So you want to walk me through maybe everything you know about all that people would know, like when they're going out somewhere, what all this stuff means to them, what it means to them when they're going hunting or just riding maybe?
Right. Yeah, you definitely want to, the first things first is you want to check your local jurisdictions, Forest Service, National Forest Service, BLM land. You need to check the local areas of that state.
Yeah, you got to do your due diligence before you go out there.
They all have their own. One area of the state might be different than the other areas of the state. So ask them what classifications of e-bikes are legal in this area. And that's what we're going to go through. There's 3 different classifications of e-bikes. We're going to start with Class 3. Class 3 is 28 miles per hour max. It's at 750 watts, and it has a throttle.
Okay.
So that's the way that this bike is set up right now.
Right now it's set up
That's
that
the way it comes in. That's a class 3. It's a super simple fix. If you're in an area that says the max is a class 2, which means max speed limit is 20 miles per hour, all you do is you go into this screen here into the display setting and you change the speed limit.
Oh, you can adjust it that quickly.
Yeah, down to 20.
Right
okay?
there, done.
And now you're done. Now this is considered a class 2 e-bike with the throttle. A lot of areas are like, hey, class 1. Class 1 is 20 miles per hour, 750 watts, and no throttle.
Gotcha.
Okay? So it's as simple as unplugging this throttle, and then the throttle's not working at all. You can remove the throttle as well if you want to do that.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense to me because you can use this bike, like I said, for any of those classifications that whatever it's regulation-wise in your area you're going to. And it literally was just 2 seconds.
Exactly.
You adjusted it.
Yeah. Again, abide by the laws. Be good stewards of it. The biggest part is to making sure that people are using these e-bikes with what they're meant to be used for. They don't go as fast as people think they go. They're meant for assist. We also sell stickers and offer stickers that it says class 1 stickers that you're going to want to put onto the bike that you can mount. And then make sure that matches what your setting is set up for.
That way if someone comes up next to you and sees that, like, hey, well, I have it set up here. We can show you on here. It's set up that way.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Fully legal to go.
Yeah, and all bikes are set up the same way. The Storm and the Mule, they can fluctuate between those three classes. The Flatlander is set up as a class 2 or a class 1, just because those go a little bit slower. But yeah, just make sure you check your local areas. And again, these are meant to have fun. They're meant to get you in the backcountry. They're meant to help people recreate. E-bike laws are softening. There's some areas that aren't as educated as most, but when you show them the capability of these, they're minimal wear to the environment, if anything, nothing. I'm a horse owner, love my horse, use it all the time. This has minimal wear less wear than a horse.
Yeah, so you're talking about minimum wear on like the trail system itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so again, just be good stewards. Make sure you know the laws. Give them a call.
Maybe let's jump into, we were talking about earlier off camera, like a benefit of someone who might have some, a bad back or something like that. What are the benefits of, using a bike like this? You have a bad back because you want to get into the backcountry. Like that's probably a huge selling point as well.
Yeah, huge, especially back east, these guys that have farmlands that are 1 to 2, 3 miles in, and they've got ailments, they've got bad hips, they've got bad knees, they've got a bad back. They're able to use this bike, hop on it, get right below their tree stand, lay the bike down. I was in Indiana last year, freezing my butt off in November. I never felt humid cold in my life like that, but we were able to hop on and bomb right into this, right below the stand, and we were able to shoot a buck right out of it. But I've had countless phone calls from people. Hey, I just had hip surgery. I just had knee surgery.
You still want to get out there and go hunting.
Still want to get out and go hunting. I mean, you look at the older generation of hunters that we want to keep in the game. E-bikes is an opportunity to keep people in the hunting game and to get them to recreate and to be part of what we're doing and what we're trying to build for us and our kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, so maybe let's jump into some of like the practicalities of using this on a hunt. Like maybe touch on like, how do I transport this? Best way to transport it? Do I just lead it over my truck? Should I strap it upright? Like, and then even some like we were talking about earlier, wearing a backpack. Like, what's the best way to do that? Maybe even what use cases, what hunts you've been using it on? Like, what's the best hunt maybe for an e-bike?
Right. Transportation-wise, we offer bike racks that you can either mount to your truck, mount to your side-by-side that has a 2-inch receiver, which you can mount 2 bikes on that. When you transport these, remove the battery. The battery's super heavy, just to offload some of that weight off of the rack, and you can put it in the cab and get to those places. My favorite thing to use these on is when I hook it onto my side-by-side, get up to the top of the mountain. There's a trail system, there's a logging road that I'm able to use on these legally. I unload the bikes, and then now it's stealth mode. Now I'm able to ride 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 miles on a logging road that's open. I could take my side-by-side on it too.
But you're going stealth mode.
I want to go stealth mode, right? And so I'll hop off, and I'll go ride these bikes. And while I'm riding, I've had experiences where I've heard turkeys while I'm riding. I've heard elk bugling while I'm riding. And even on the mule deer hunts, they're looking at you like, what is that, right? And so otherwise, with the side-by-side, you're riding, they're hearing you, they're going in the trees and tucking away. That's my use case. Use these on a lot of mule deer hunts, a lot of elk hunts. As I mentioned earlier, we were able to shoot an elk right off of a logging road, 75 yards, after laying the bike down.
I think it's a huge game changer on those spring bear hunts.
Oh, bear hunts are huge.
Like,
Yep.
this is a game changer to me, just being able to go in on a spring bear hunt. Those logging roads you can ride down, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a game changer. Areas that you are able to bait, you can put your bait in these trailers.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that part.
Pack all that in. But yeah, spring bear hunt's huge. We know these aren't used for every situation.
Yep.
It's not an optics, it's not a camo company. But again, there's opportunities to use these. Where I hunt in Utah, I use these on roads that I could honestly take my side-by-side on. But I know what these bucks are doing, and where I'm able to go deep on these roads that trucks can't go, my ATV can go, I take this instead.
Exactly. Why beat up your truck?
Why beat up my truck when I can take this? So there's that. Now, packing out stuff, packing out elk, packing out deer, you can hook on these trailers, put meat in there. You can use your backpack. When you ride these bikes with a heavy pack, I like to loosen my straps a little bit just so that I can rest it on this rack.
That makes a lot of sense.
So that I don't have the back in my my neck. I don't have my gun coming forward. But we do also sell gun racks and bow racks that can mount to the handlebar as well.
Could I easily put a whole deer in the trailer?
Oh yeah.
Like, what's the weight capacity kind of like? Or could you fit like a couple quarters of an elk even?
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the trailer, you can pack, on the dual wheel, you could pack 250 to 275. Okay. The single wheel, I'd stick around that 200 mark.
So you can pack a lot of weight in there.
Yeah. I threw in a whole mule deer, gutted, in the dual wheel and packed it out on my bike. Yeah, I'll show you guys some photos later, but it was awesome. So yeah, that's how I use it. Love to use it just to be quiet, hearing the crackling of the gravel, below the tires, and it's a super peaceful way to hunt. And then again, I like to hike too. Like, you guys are crazy hikers and everything, so these are even for guys like you guys. You can use it to a certain point.
Yep.
You can lock it to a tree, do whatever you need to do, and then go hike your 10 to 15 miles to get even further.
That brings up a good point too. You recommend always locking these bad boys to some sort of tree. Right?
Yeah, lock them, cover them up. As much as we want us all to be on the same page, be good stewards of it. And yeah, I haven't had an issue ever. So,
is there anything you should be worried about too? Like, let's say I ride this bike up, I park it for a week, and I go hiking. Like, weather-wise, like if it's raining, if it's snowing, is that going to impact anything on like electronic-wise? Or
not at all. No, we sell a battery thermal jacket, so I would recommend getting that thermal battery jacket, wrap it around the battery while it's sitting, just to keep that semi-warm if you can, so that when you come back, you've got enough juice to get out. Yeah.
But otherwise, rain's not going to affect any electronics.
Not at all. Yeah, you can go through streams, creeks, rivers, right through it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So when it comes to we drained a battery, we got back home.
Yep.
What are we looking at charge time wise?
Yeah. Charge time anywhere from 4 to 6 hours DC. If you're up in the backwoods, we do sell solar panels. So you could do a solar panel on a good sunny day. That would be about 6 to 8 hours.
It's actually a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, a lot quick. Yeah, real quick there on a good sunny day. So yeah, 4 to 5 hours. So I'd go, if you're at a camp with a truck, you can plug it into your truck. You can plug it into a generator. That's where a backup battery is nice to have. So you've got one fully juiced. When you come back, you can swap them out.
And do you recommend always charging it whenever you get a chance to, or should you, like most batteries, some people say like, oh yeah, you should let them kind of drain and then charge them again. You can just keep charging them.
I always charge mine.
Always charge it?
Like if I'm at 67%, I'll come back. I'll top it off.
Yeah, top it off always.
No problem.
Okay. All right. So we mentioned a little bit about carts, and now we got the single wheel design here, and we're going to, I think, showcase how easy it is to mount on there, and maybe talk about some other little features of the cart.
Yeah, super easy. So this is our single wheel trailer. It's got a kickstand. Pop that kickstand up, and then it's got a hitch on the left and the right side that just feeds right on it. Lock that in place, and you're set, ready to go.
How easy was that to lock? Would you just?
So it's just this came right up and goes right on the front there. So we have our dual wheel trailers as well that have a left side hitch. So it just comes around the left side and it connects to the left side of the bike.
And obviously I can see here the trailer can pivot, it can move around so when you're turning and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. On the single wheel trailer, you definitely want to pack the weight just like you would a llama. Anything like you want to make it even on the animal.
Yeah, try to balance it.
You want to make it even on the trailer as well.
Okay. This trailer has a little bit of a suspension system back here.
Yeah, a little bit of suspension, just to be able to pack a little bit extra weight, great ground clearance. A lot of people use this for their sleeping bag, for their food, for their water, and things like that. And then, when you pack out, when you debone an animal, you can put a lot of that in your backpack and the trailer to get out.
Do you ever have to worry about like going downhill with the trailer? Like, do you go a little bit slower?
Absolutely, yeah. Go slow, just like you would when you're hauling
you don't
a trailer
want, you
on
don't
the
want to
freeway.
bomb down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Go slow and take it easy. You don't want anything bouncing out. But we have covers that can go over the top to protect your gear as well.
And then let's say I got that thing super bloody.
Yep,
Got
no
a bunch of
problem.
meat.
Pull that off, throw it in the washer.
From the washer, okay.
Yep, yep. Spray it
super
off or leave it bloody for next year for good luck.
That's what you got to do. You
Yeah,
got to keep things
exactly.
nice and weathered and well used.
Yep.
Alrighty, so that is a quick overview of the Bakcou bikes. We have the Storm and the Mule, and the biggest benefit is available in the GOHUNT Gear Shop right now. So you guys can purchase these bikes for whatever hunts you got coming up. You got spring bear hunt, you got some elk hunts, you know, just ride around your back 40 trying to do some scouting, or like I said, even tree stand hunting and whatever else. And pretty sweet system.
Yeah, yeah. Send us your pictures. We want to check it out. But we're grateful for the partnership.
Yeah, appreciate
you guys.
Appreciate
This
your time
was
coming
exciting.
in, checking it out. If you guys have any questions at all, definitely drop them down in the comments below. You know, we have the master here. I'll probably reach out to him, ask him some stuff too, but we're gonna get really familiar with these bikes. That way we know how to use everything, and we're super excited to be finally selling these bikes at the GOHUNT Gear Shop. So check them out today.